Welcome to the Nexus Unloaded podcast. This is Will Crozier.
And I'm Mikki Westcombe. We are the founders of Nexus Performance. Joining us on this wild ride is our heavyweight coaching team, ready to unleash their expertise to solve any problems in your journey to getting strong and jacked.
Through our real-world experience, we hope to break things down in a digestible, applicable, and entertaining way.
So pump up the volume and let's get into this. Yes. Yeah, wedding stuff. That's fun. What's going on?
Pretty much just the weekend down there.
Yeah, we head down on the Friday and married on the Saturday the 23rd. And then we're taking Monday off calls. I've booked that out in our calendars. Though I'm sure we'll be fine to do calls. I just don't really want to have to handle meetings 100%. And stuff like that if we don't have to.
Yeah, 100%.
And then we fly out Friday the 29th. For our honeymoon.
Just trying to make sure everybody's all good in that last, whatever it is, 4 or 5 days before in between. Just make sure everybody is, all the clients
alive.
Are happy and
have you spoken
know what's going on. Huh?
You spoken to Dan about it?
Spoken to everybody a little bit. Well, if I haven't, I've spoken to everybody a little bit and more this week. So we'll speak to everybody and
make sure everyone's alive.
It's just, it's just that. Let's trying to speed up the process a little bit because some people are like, oh, don't worry about me when you're away, and I'm just like, but then something's gonna happen. And then when I get back, I'm gonna come back to like you freaking the fuck out, just like like everything's bad,
an absolute shit show.
And then I'll just be like, fuck, I wish I checked in. You know what I mean? So like, I'm just still gonna keep it somewhat there. It's just come up with some efficient ways to work through things.
Obviously a few people prepping. Yourself.
But like we always like no matter this prep or like any prep, we always discuss the numbers first, second, thirds, and like where our options going to be, but like before we even get to comp anyway. So like I always already have something in my mind. So with or without Will, like I'm prepared either way.
I think the other reality is, for the listeners here, we do have a guest, Keeta Davis. Keeta Crisp. Keeta Crisps. My apologies.
That's right. I still do Davis sometimes.
Keeta Crisp.
Legally
crisp.
Swapped?
Have you?
50-50. There's like only like my Medicare and stuff I haven't changed yet because I just don't want to go do that.
Passports, driver's license.
No, driver's license already done.
Okay.
So FYI, when you go in, they take it from you straight away.
Well, I literally just paid for another 5 years. That's
fine. They don't charge you or anything. So you just go in and say, hey, I'm changing my name. They'll just take that license from you, take a new photo and everything.
Oh,
and
good,
they send you out a new one.
I have dark brown hair in mine. And I'm like, oh, I just paid 5 years for this.
Just make sure you already have like your signature because when I got there, I was like,
Well, I'm going to change
sign
mine.
Your card.
What do you mean already have your signature?
Oh, because you have to sign your driver's license.
Yeah, but what did your signature change?
From Davis to Crisp. And so like I hadn't like thought about that. And then
mine
I was
doesn't
like,
even mine's
yours,
like
you're going to take you're taking my last name.
Yeah, but even if that was the case,
William Westcombe. I think
if that was, I still wouldn't change my signature. I was like, fuck, it already looks just like a scribble on a piece of paper.
You'd be like www.
Yeah, I just wouldn't. It'd just be ups and downs. Just
oh, that's so good.
Don't tell people what your signature is.
Nah, they don't know how far up and how far down.
So I am taking Will's name. I'm taking Crozier.
Crozier. Easier.
How do you pronounce it, William?
Westcombe.
Whatever you want.
Westcombe.
Yeah. My name has multiple pronunciations, and I could care less. I don't know what the actual pronunciation is. I have asked my grandparents, but they're just like,
whatever you need it to be.
Yeah, it depends whether you're saying it in like which parent, like which background, you know.
Yeah.
So
no, I'll just change mine to my signature will be like MC Hammer.
Yes.
At the moment, I love my signature because it looks like a butterfly that's like sideways, like this munted butterfly.
I never thought about the signature until now, and I would not change it because I couldn't be fucked.
I can't be fucked
unless it was you just writing your name. If you were just like looked like you just fully wrote it out.
Yeah,
like some people, I guess maybe.
My mum does that.
Yeah.
So
we are joined today by Keeta Crisp.
The long way. You've got the long way there. Yeah.
And you are obviously I don't know how many weeks out now from your.
I think it's like 7 now.
7 weeks out. Are you? Is it 21st of October?
28th.
28th. All right.
28th and 29th.
At
so I should come on the 28th.
Nightmare on Mulder Street, I think the name is.
Yeah.
One strength.
At One Strength.
Yeah.
In what?
One of the 2 big comps in October that we're not here for.
What's the other one?
Zero Pro.
Zero Pro is technically the 30th of September.
Yeah. Fuck, I'm counting it. Even on my birthday, the 30th.
We'll be on a plane at that point, or in San Fran, or wherever we are in the world.
But yeah, missing them.
We've got other clients competing, like Melbourne Cup, and there are a few other comps and stuff like that going on over these.
Yeah, but the 2 like bigger, like quote unquote money comps.
Yeah.
For the year
is Zero and Mulder.
Yep.
Yeah, which is exciting for powerlifting because we have gone from just essentially pro raw for how many years, forever
and
now.
big dogs,
being I guess but the same.
So like anything Marcos holds.
Yep.
Yeah.
For being the only place where you can earn something. Not that I'm calling $2,000 like life changing. Wow, holy shit!
But like it's something. It's
covers your flights.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then these 2 are coming into the party and hopefully putting a bit of pressure on everybody to step their shit up. And
I'm really excited to watch the dudes. I'm so excited.
I don't know which dudes are competing.
So Pat's coming back in at 82.
And
Pat Morrison.
Yeah. So, and he's pulling like 400 with straps on at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's obviously
it's always been a very strong puller with straps on.
Yeah. And so there's obviously Joseph Whittaker. Look, it's going to be interesting to see if he can get close to it without straps. But
it doesn't matter though. Like that's
I mean, he's going to come in lighter anyway, so like he's going to be strong. So like on the Wilk side of things, he's definitely going to be hitting numbers.
He's going to have an advantage.
Yeah, for sure. And then there's obviously Whittaker. Mel tore his light, so he's out.
Saw that. Unfortunate.
Is Vassar doing it?
I don't know.
I have honestly not looked at the list.
We haven't really looked at anyone that's competing. I mean, aside, we've got a couple of clients doing it. Yeah. Aside from them, we haven't looked at any of the big comps and stuff like that locally because
I probably ran my eyes
wedding
over
and honeymoon and other things that we've just kind of
more focused on my list, like who's doing what.
Yeah. Only your athletes, for sure. And then Stenzel's doing it.
He doing it or Zero?
He's doing. I thought he was doing. He signed up for Mulder.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe he's doing both. I don't know. But he signed up for Mulder because they put his little thing up, and I was like, "Oh, sick."
Yeah.
And then Pat was like, "Yeah, I'm doing it too," and I was like, "Ooh!" I was like, "Here we go."
Rivalry back.
It's gonna get spicy.
Yeah. I was like, "This is gonna be so good to watch."
Yeah. Yeah. They're very different weight classes now. I know Stenzel's still.
He'll be like under 100 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on the women's side.
Yeah. So there's
pretty stacked.
Yeah. There's myself, Sarah, Jamie, Lily.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the most of like us top girls that are doing it.
So there's a lot of there's a lot of competition there with people who are.
And I think Jess is doing it too.
Big
Jess.
Yeah. So like, I don't really know the list. I'm just going with it. I'm just trusting you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, if Keeta's missed you or said and you're not competing.
Yeah, sorry guys.
It's fine.
She probably hasn't stalked you and has voodoo dolls of you that she's pinning in the middle of the night.
Look, I love you all, but I'm also very competitive, so
we'll talk about that a bit. 7 weeks out, so getting to the I guess the more serious end.
Yeah.
Kind of just started like what we would call like a peaking block.
Yes.
Usually it's a little bit shorter than this.
Yes.
This time it's just a little bit longer just due to how things have formed.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I come back from my ankle being torn and then my knee played up. So then there was like those
just a couple of those little things.
Yeah.
Sick
Plus,
as well
like,
for a while.
I got sick.
Yeah, there was just a few things which almost like just forced an early just change in programming and fatigue management, which has led us to this block being a little bit longer. So there's considerations for that in how we go about it.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll get to this. We'll get to this comp, but wanted to get back in time bit.
Yeah, back in time. How far back do we want to go?
Back to the beginning, where it all began.
Where it all began.
Well, I mean, let's just like we've been working together for a long time.
Yeah.
He says, and he's.
I can't even remember the
2016.
Was it?
When you took me on 2 weeks out of my bodybuilding show in 2016.
Oh Jesus!
You were like, oh, I don't know, and I was like, we'll just give it a go. Hey, we pulled out a win though, so why not?
Yeah.
All me.
Yeah, it was all you.
2 weeks of just magic. Absolute.
This is where we actually, there is such thing as a magic pill.
Yeah,
Will
yeah.
just hasn't.
Yeah. He just gives me one and away we go.
Yeah. No, definitely not. That was.
Look, they weren't ideal circumstances. We've had a few of those, but that's okay.
Yes.
Just true Keeta right there.
I think that is literally the evolution of the last 7
Nails
years of your coaching together.
Yep. It describes it quite well. But when did you start lifting before that? Like, when was the first time you went to the gym with a...
Like with intent?
I don't want to say with even... Like, where did you start at all?
Oh, so like I was lifting weights throughout my teenage years on and off.
Turn the aircon.
Okay.
Get warm in here.
Yeah, I was like, you're not the only one getting hot, bro. Oof. So I started like training properly in like 2011, 2012. And then from there, I did my first bodybuilding comp in 2013. So like, so like I've been around for a while.
A year or two into
Yeah. So like consistently, like a year to 2 years.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
That's pretty good though.
Yeah.
Most people are like, for me, it was like 3 or 4 before I even considered it, and I wouldn't call the first expedition into that amazing.
Yeah.
Because
you did bodybuilding first too, hey?
Did for a couple of years.
Yeah.
A couple of seasons.
Yeah.
In different categories. So that was.
Did this little fitness boy
did
modeling.
my fitness one first.
I didn't even do fitness.
I had to step in, just dip the toe in,
In his little small boy days.
Yeah, just
weighing in at a whopping 78 kilos.
That's crazy.
Was it? So it was 70-ish, yeah. And then my bodybuilding show was like, I think the lightest I got to was 69.
That's crazy. Because like when I did women's physique, so when we did 2017, I got down to 60 kilos for women's physique. Yes, that's crazy.
Shredded.
Yeah.
That was different conditioning levels though. Like, I mean, obviously, like when Will did bodybuilding, that was you were pretty fucking lean then.
Yeah. You're lean all the time, dude.
Yeah, you just are naturally a little bit leaner as well. But he says pinching himself.
He's like, so lean.
But he started in that bodybuilding, only a couple of years into lifting, which was pretty crazy, but pretty, did all right.
Yeah, so I placed 3rd.
I remember.
In my first comp.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in NABA too, so that was hectic.
Yep.
Some big girls.
Yeah, some really big girls.
Mm-hmm.
And then I took off 2014 and 2015, and I just trained.
Yep.
And then I hit the stage again in 2016.
Yeah.
And that's when I started with you.
The bodybuilding, 2 weeks out. Yep.
Yeah. And then we did a show and then we did 2 shows in 2017 because we went to nationals that year.
Yeah, I remember that. A lot of
that was so
juggling things.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure at that point you did the bodybuilding and then like 6 weeks later.
No, 6 weeks before.
6 weeks before competed and then did the bodybuilding physique show. That was stupid.
Yeah, so in 2016 I did the same thing. I did my first powerlifting meet 6 weeks out of my bodybuilding show in 2016, and then we repeated that in 2017.
Yeah, that was stupid.
What were your numbers at your
Let's not
first
do that again.
powerlifting meet?
Oh, I think I went like...
Try an open lifter.
495 or something? I don't know. It wasn't that great. And then the next one, I mean, it was still pretty good, but like, it wasn't
not
great.
Bad at all.
I'm going to go open powerlifting and actually look at.
Yeah, because
you know what's crazy is that I can go to open powerlifting and then go to the first page and your name is there.
I know it's crazy.
I don't have to search it.
It's so mental.
Well, your name's not on there.
I know. I'm like,
you're like 100th or something, are you?
All right, so it's 2016
anyway.
Righto, mate.
Yeah.
20.
Let's actually find Will after this.
Yeah, we'll go. Well, Keeta's ranked 16 in the world of all time.
Yes, I'm better than you.
Based on dots. All right, Spring Cup. Keeta Davis, where are you? Itty bitty.
I haven't done that many comps. Come on, mate.
There you are. 430 was your total. And that was with under 67s weighing in a whopping 63.1.
Oh, that's huge.
A 147 squat, a 107.5 bench, and a 175 deadlift.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. And then I think my next comp I went 500.
What was it? What brought you to that
powerlifting
comp? I guess I probably had some influence on it.
Oh, I've got
So
here. Pro Raw 9 will actually won overall. He beat you. He's higher
God
on the list. Just saying.
So in 2016, so I thought about powerlifting for a while. So when I was training in 2015, I ended up moving to the Sunshine Coast, and I met Scott, who owns Muscle Hype.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "You're actually pretty
Great
strong.
gym.
You should do some powerlifting." And I was like, "Okay, let's go." And then that kind of led me into and then I was always like, "Oh, I'll do my bodybuilding stuff." And then I was with Gus to start with, and I was like, "Oh, let's just give it a go. Like, why not?"
Mm-hmm.
And then I wasn't terrible at it, so I was like, maybe I'll just stick with this instead.
Yeah. Weren't terrible at either.
Yeah, like I wasn't terrible at either, but like I definitely prefer powerlifting over bodybuilding.
What's the best thing about, like, what do you enjoy most about powerlifting?
Especially when it comes to like, so I like the ruling and the judging, so it's so clear cut. So like you either make it or you don't.
Yeah.
Bodybuilding is so subjective.
Yeah.
To what they look for at the time.
Yeah.
And so like every year is different. So it's very hard to tell where like I'm either going to be good or I'm not going to be good at powerlifting. You can't say, oh, that was because of this. Oh, it was just their judging on this day. No, like I either got it or I didn't get it.
So that's what you least like about bodybuilding, is just the subjectivity of the judging.
Yeah,
like, what do you like the most about bodybuilding then?
Being shredded. Who doesn't like being shredded?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the everything to get shredded.
Yeah, that's not really that fun.
You just like looking that way momentarily.
Prepping for in probably any sport, really.
Yeah, well, I mean, I still have to diet down anyway.
That fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Like nobody's like a footy player is not like, fuck, I can't wait to go to training tonight. It's gonna be so good.
Yeah, like, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but they love the game. They love the moments. They love the wins. They love it's the same. I remember in bodybuilding, like I talk negatively a lot about bodybuilding in my experience, because I'm just like, I just fucking, to be honest, like, I didn't have the best experience with like the people. Like the people have really.
That was definitely a big change for me too. When I did my powerlifting meet, my first powerlifting meet, it was so inclusive. Like everyone cheered you on. Everyone was like, hell yeah, like get it. But then when I went to my powerlifting meet, my bodybuilding meet, powerlifting comp, I can't even talk. My bodybuilding comp, 6 weeks later, it was so different. Like no one cheered me on. Apart from like you guys, like all you can hear is Mikki in the crowd.
That's still the same for
all of my comps ever.
I'm very loud. What can I say?
Look, it's good. It gives you something to focus on.
Yeah.
And it was just so different. Even like us at nationals and like when we did Queensland in 2017, like that was so different too. Yeah.
As in powerlifting nationals or bodybuilding nationals?
Bodybuilding nationals.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't do powerlifting nationals until 2019.
Yeah, it is different. Like I said, I'll say that, and then, but I know other people's experience is very different.
Oh, people love it, and like
so, like it's
like we had.
Not
Hattie
trying to say it's all.
Yeah,
it's not all bad. No, definitely not.
It's one of those things that it is what you make it to be.
Yeah, 100%.
As well. You know what I mean? The more you immerse yourself into some of the community and the culture and that, the experience is going to be widely different for each person.
What did you find harder? I guess I know there are different aspects of each that are probably harder and easier, like any sport. But like overall, which one would you say harder?
Definitely bodybuilding's harder. Like for sure.
Just the
mental side of things.
The outside stuff. The
you
diet.
hate being hungry.
Yeah, I'm definitely not.
Fuck, who doesn't?
Yeah, true.
No, but Keeta's
like
bad.
I get real moody. I get real hungry real quick. It's not good. It's not good. Mikki, tell everyone my secrets.
You let it show a little bit more than some other people.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, man.
When Keeta's hungry.
Like, if I'm hungry or tired, you're going to know.
She wears it on her sleeve.
Yeah, 100%. I'm not good at cutting that.
And on the edge of her tongue as well, sadly.
Look, you might get a lashing or two.
Have you found that some of the because you did bodybuilding first, as we've just said, you find some of the, what in those preps do you think carried into your powerlifting that helped you be a better powerlifter, do you think? Because there's probably a few things.
Definitely I still struggle with my eating just from like binge issues and stuff from like back in the day, but I definitely learned, especially a lot when we did in 2017, when we did our macro prep into my bodybuilding. I definitely learned more then than previously.
Because about foods.
Yeah, about food. I learned how to eat and I learned how my body reacted to certain things. So that's definitely made it a lot easier carrying that over into my powerlifting and like knowing how to fuel myself properly. So like when I'm good mentally, like I'm on track, I'm sweet. Yeah. But then like when I have bad days, I still revert back to like, I'll just starve myself, which is not obviously the best thing to do. So yeah, learning about food definitely helped me a lot because like I've always had issues with food. So I'll either like binge or I'll starve myself. Yeah. So like when I'm not good mentally, that's what I fall back into. So learning about the food definitely helped me a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And being okay with eating more.
Yeah, 100%. Like,
because I know
especially
we went through
working with
phases
Mikki,
where we were pushing it.
Yeah. Especially when I work with Mikki, like she definitely works on me getting more food in, because that's like the biggest thing for me as well, is that I struggle to get more food in.
Yeah.
You won't eat all day, and then you'll be on like 1,400 calories and like, I'm good. And I'm like,
bodybuilding does that to you, because you come up with these coping habits for the hunger.
Yeah.
You come up with these, I'm going to eat usually a mixture of like really voluminous food.
Yeah.
So you're going to pick like stuff that makes you really full for the least amount of calories.
Yeah. For the longest
you're
time
gonna eat, like,
possible.
very fibrous things, usually higher protein. You're going to learn to maybe do things like fasting in the morning and starting your eating window a little bit later, so that you can kind of like be less hungry for,
especially on those low calorie days.
Yeah. So it's not so much. I think the biggest thing is that you don't feel hungry.
Correct.
But you're actually in a deficit.
Yeah, correct.
Right?
You feel hungry. I feel like you feel hungry, but you're just so much better at controlling it. Like, you're
way
better at ignoring it.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm hungry. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's
and then I'll just go like drink something instead.
Yeah.
I'll drink water, or like I'll have an energy drink or something.
But
just to
you
like,
get better at
these
coping things. That's like I said. And then when you get onto higher calories,
it's hard.
I find there's this lag period where you're like, oh, I've got heaps more calories, but I'm still just going to like, delay my eating, or maybe I'm going to eat like charisma potato. And then all of a sudden you find yourself like fucking a bloated mess because you've just eaten 2 kilos of potato.
And that's kind of the problem, or the issue that most people fall into, is that, they're trying to fill up more calories with the same types of food, and that fullness and stuff is even more uncomfortable for them. And so they feel fatter, but they're not, they're just fuller, because they've had the same types of food that entire
in a larger
time.
quantity.
So I think the appropriate way, we actually have podcasts coming up on this about like keeping strength whilst dieting and some of that sort of stuff. So it does tie in here. So stay tuned for that episode. But I think one of the important things to note is, like, for yourself when you're going grocery shopping, not always looking for the low calorie options. That's I think the bodybuilding coming in is 100%. That like you'll go grocery shopping and you're like, I know this is low calorie, I know this one's low calorie, so I'm going to fill my pantry.
You get over that little transition period between is the hardest part of dieting, I find. Either way, whichever way you're going.
Yeah.
That's why when people can, like, we tell people, like, you go slow, like go from high calories to like medium calories to low calories if you're going to do that, and vice versa. Where realistically you could just fucking go like from everything to nothing, or nothing to everything.
Like, I know bodybuilders
if you could mentally handle it.
That's what Will does.
It's all because I've done it for so long, I know the signals, and I'm like, it's okay, and I'll just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Whereas
you do it more when you cut. When you're prone to binge, go hard cutting, and then when you gain, you put it back in.
Yeah, personally, I like to feel like I'm doing something.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like, if I cut a little bit of calorie, no, it's if I feel the hunger and I'm like, I'm fucking going, like I'm on here. I can get leaner. Like, I like to see the scales go down.
Yes.
If I'm losing like a couple 100 grams a week, I'm like,
But the difference is that you can handle that hunger, and a lot of people can't handle that hunger.
Yeah, so how fast you go is a mental thing, for sure.
You use that hunger as a driving factor to stay motivated. A lot of people use that hunger and as a trigger to go back into higher calories.
Yeah.
Because they can't handle it.
Yeah.
For
sure.
So everyone's it's just slightly different approach, but at the end of the day, you've had that carryover of like, you can handle the hunger when you need to diet coming into a comp and stuff like that. Exactly. And that's one of the skills that you've got from the bodybuilding and transferring that over. But sadly, there has been some things from bodybuilding, like the disordered eating and stuff like that, that is still, like, you actually don't eat a lot of calories. Like, we had Sarah in here, and she's like 4,000 calories or something like that. It's just,
and she's still dropping.
Yeah, it's just crazy, like the amount of calories that she'll consume. And it's one of those things, like, you could definitely consume more calories.
Yes.
I mean, and it's been a work in progress over the many years. But there are some people out there, like, I know Dylan Hellriegel doesn't eat a lot of food.
Yeah.
Like, he'll eat like 3,500, 4,000. I don't know his nutrition, but I remember there was a conversation that he and Will had.
It was less than me. He was like 180 kilos. Like,
fuck you.
Crazy.
Yeah, so you can put weight on real easy, but losing weight
it's very hard.
Sucks.
Same. Yeah. So that's me. So, like, I'll never, like, we haven't done like an intentional grow phase in so long, because like
Well, you've been in the 75 class and it's like, oh, we don't want to.
Yeah, and like, but not only that, if I eat enough and I train hard enough, I'm just going to grow anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I've grown and I haven't intentionally tried to grow.
Well, you kind of have, I think, after breakthrough.
Like there are certain things that we do focus on, like my glutes and my shoulders, and like those things that I feel like they're lacking.
Most girls.
Yeah, like most times.
What do you want? A bigger butt and cap delts.
Yeah, obviously. Bikini season coming around.
Not that you look like a bikini competitor.
Not ever. I don't think I've ever looked that way in my entire life. I've always just been a little nugget.
You're a bit short.
Yeah, just that little nugget life.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, it's definitely interesting when it comes to like nutrition and food and stuff, because like even like Luke being so big, he doesn't eat that much either.
Well, I remember when you and Luke first started dating, he was like 100 kilos.
Yeah, dude, he was so tiny.
Similar.
Yeah, he was like under 100, and now he's like what, 130
yeah,
or
he's
something.
130 now. Yeah, it's crazy.
He morphed. He morphed a lot faster than Will morphed.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. Remember when I did that bodybuilding show, I was
That's
70,
true.
and then I was back at 110 in months.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, not back. I was.
No, you hit 100 for the first time.
Yeah.
Very quickly. I remember the first time you hit triple digits, you were like, "Fuck you, boy!"
Like it's definitely. I definitely find it much easier post aggressive dieting though.
Yes.
To, like,
fucking if your body wants to put it on.
Like it wants it, and like so you can utilize
it's
that
also
as much as possible.
Time frame to put fat back on, but we're getting into bodybuilding territory. We don't want to talk about bodybuilding.
Let's go back to the powerlifting early days.
Powerlifting is I definitely prefer it in all aspects.
Well, let's go back to have a look at some of these comps. This comp calendar schedule.
So you did the first one, which we said was, what did you say, Mikki? 4:30.
Yeah.
4:30 and then 4:95.
Yeah, there you go.
Was the next one.
Yeah.
That was Pro Raw.
That was awful.
That was where I called you out for being a little bitch. I remember that.
I remember like throwing my
Pro
belt,
Raw
having a full tantrum.
2017.
That was my first Pro Raw ever.
Yeah.
And like I was pulling on a straight bar all prep. And then I got there and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
You nearly bombed on deadlifts.
Legit.
Yeah.
Like things that I was doing reps at, I couldn't even pull off the floor.
And I think this is kind of the general theme of what we wanted to talk about a little bit today. It's just the evolution of your mindset over the course of these few years. Because I remember Pro Raw 9, I distinctly remember I was not allowed to go out the back.
Oh,
and you were sitting... You were sitting in the corner.
No, because there was a rule.
Because there was a rule. I wasn't allowed out the back. But I don't talk to many people the way that I talk to you.
Oh yeah,
and
but
I'm
that's because, like,
very
we have that relationship.
Yes, but I'm very direct and very blunt with you. And I remember you were sitting in the back and you were having a big old fucking cry.
I was legit crying
up against the fence, like sobbing. And I walked up to you, and I think it was after your second deadlift that you failed, and you were just like, "That's it, like this is over."
Up. Yeah,
full given up. And I just walked up to you. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
I was crying.
Like,
I was having to cry. That's what I was doing. I was crying.
But it wasn't that. I was like, why are you throwing yourself a little fucking pity party over here?
Legit.
Like, how the fuck do you expect to go back out there and actually pull this third deadlift if you've already given yourself the attitude of, fuck this, I'm not here anymore?
Yeah, because it was just a technical thing from memory. It wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't that the strength wasn't there. I think you're falling forward. That's just all that it was.
Just not used to the bar.
Yeah, and like I didn't know how to pull the slack out of the bar because I was using a straight bar for so long. So like I didn't know how to carry the slack over into my pull. So I was literally just trying to yeet the thing off the ground.
Yeah.
It is a bit different. Yeah.
Yeah. And so,
especially under a hyper, like first bigger kind of meet.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially that meet was fucking, that was big.
Yeah. That was a big comp. Yeah. So you literally went from Spring Cup 2016 August. You did the push-pull, the Tri-Nations push-pull. That was in Mackay.
Yeah, we all flew to
We went up to that.
Yeah,
and then...
Didn't you do that?
Yeah, I did. I got my period just as I was pulling my warm-up deadlifts. Fun times.
Yeah, I remember trying and like making weight.
But yeah, Pro Raw 9 was the first. Like, so that's it's a big evolution going from like, you know, Spring Cup sort of things to
2 small comps.
One of the biggest meets that
and
Pro Raw 9
you would have been like the people ahead of you. Or
it was like Joanne, Dakota.
It would have been Kate and Irina.
Who else was there? Lydia, like all of those people were there still. Yeah,
it was a good comp.
Yeah,
but the little fucking pity party that you were throwing yourself, I was just like, check yourself, or I'm going to come in there and wreck you.
Just
and then you fucking pulled it, and then you're just like, oh my god, that was so good. I was like, you fucking little
it was fucking
bitch.
terrible. Looking back at that lift, I was like, oh god,
but we got there.
But that was it. That's a really obviously good number, like 495. not compared
for
to
your second
today,
ever comp.
Yeah.
And after that, it was Spring Cup. You went 5:07. And then
just a slightly smaller increase on that one.
Pro Raw 10 was following that. Where are you on here? Trying to find your name.
Pro Raw 10 would have been your first win? No? 11.
Pro Raw 11 was the win. That was with Kate.
Yeah.
Thanks for that one. That was a fucking great day, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that was awkward for everyone.
Yeah.
So Pro Raw 10, you would have been on the up there though.
Yeah, I think I came like
exactly.
5th or 6th or something because
that was Irina and Kate still.
Yeah. And I think that what was that? 2017.
Yeah, something like that.
2018 is the first time I pulled sumo, and I fucking ate shit on that. So I think I got 2 squats, 2 benches, and like 1 deadlift.
Yeah, you went back to 492, sorry.
Yeah, so like that was not a great comp either.
Yeah, and then Sydney Cup was the redemption.
Yeah.
That was 525. So you went from 492 to 525.
And I hurt my SIJ in between that too. So like that comp, we only hit a 200 squat, I think. Just because we were being cautious on my back.
Then 525 went 567 at Pro Raw 11. That was where you won.
Yeah.
And then
I went 600 at Nationals that year.
Yep.
And then I did 630 at
Wildcats. Was
so 600 at Nationals. That would have been that at the time was for I forget.
I was the first 75 kilo lifter in Australia to go 600 at 75.
Yes. Yeah. And I remember at the time it was also like 3rd or 4th, maybe 4th
like
or 5th,
strongest.
I don't know.
Yeah.
In the world in that weight class.
Yeah.
There was a few. Maybe
so
like
let's
Christie and
2019. So March 2019 was Pro Raw 11. That was 567. And then Wildcats, which was November 2019, you went 627. It's a big fucking increase on total over that.
Yeah.
But I know you've been like, since then you've like 650.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like I remember winning Pro Raw and then I was like, I want fucking 600 at Nationals. Like, let's fucking yeet it. And I did. I went, and we only went 8 from 8.
Yeah.
And Marcos was like, oh, what are you, like, are you trying to do 600? And I was like, well, I'm not here to fuck spiders, mate. Like,
yeah.
And he was like, nah. And I was like, yeah, we're doing it. Like, watch this space, mate. We're doing it.
Yeah, that was a really good comp then in Adelaide.
Yeah.
And that wasn't without its troubles as well.
Oh yeah, like me and Chantel was still warming up, and I had to do a 50 kilo jump from my warm up to my opener.
Yeah, that was the main thing I remember because we
thought we had time, and then suddenly we didn't have time.
I forget what happened, but something cut the time period a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
And
I remember you just being like, "Oh, it's going to be heavy," and I was like, "You think it's a fucking 50 kilo jump?" Man.
Well, I was like, "You got 2 choices. You got either sit down, wrap, let's like squat right now for your last planned warm up.
Yeah.
However, you can only have like a couple of minutes max before you do that in your opener.
Yeah. So we were just like, "Oh, fuck it."
And then like in my opinion, your opener is just your last warm up anyway.
Yeah.
Like you're not planning on only hitting your warm up. You're planning on your second being the first one that's hard, and then the third being like a max.
Yeah.
So like your open is always a warm up.
Exactly.
Using that mindset, right? And so like, not ideal to miss one, but still, it's not like we're going from like that to something that you knew like, oh fuck, I might not get this. Like you're still going to a number that you were like, okay, I've done this heaps of times. Like I can fucking do this.
Yeah, exactly.
So at least, maybe a bit of a shock mentally, but like not.
Yeah. I just remember like unracking it and being like, oh, I was like, oh god, that's heavy.
Shit got heavy real quick.
But the difference is compared to like Pro Raw 9, for example, for you, and it's definitely something that I've noticed over the years is that like I used to get really,
in your head,
I guess, shocked when I'll pick something up and I'm like, oh, this is heavy, and then like I don't know, it was just different. There was like easy and then there was heavy, but then I think you get to a certain strength level where you get to a certain level of experience or whatever, and like
everything's
it's just fucking heavy.
Yeah,
like,
everything is heavy.
My opener, my second, my third, they're all heavy. Like they move at different speeds, but I'm like, this is fucking heavy.
Yeah. And that's like, that's what I just tell people in general. Like anyone going for PB, I'm like, it's going to be heavy.
Yeah.
Like no matter what you do, it's going to be heavy.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just something that I tell myself even coming into comps now, like if I know we set openers and then I'm like, oh, do you think I've gone too high? And then I get there, I'm like, it's just going to be fucking heavy no matter what I do. So just kind of suck it up and just do it.
Yeah. Perform
or just don't.
What?
It's kind of the only option you've got.
So what do you think over these years, you know, from the Pro Raw 9 little meltdown to like when I have a look at this regional cup that we had in 2020?
Oh, that was rough too.
That was a rough comp.
Yeah.
And
but we PB'd.
It's hard for everyone.
Yeah.
That was not like
that was 60. Yeah, you hit 607, which was you know, down from, and that was coming back from the COVID and all that sort of shit. So you hit 627.
That was my first time up my boobs.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, because I got my boobs done in 2019. Yeah. No, 2020. Yeah. 2020.
But you still hit a 142.5 bench.
Yeah, which is a PB. I haven't hit that since. I don't understand how this works, but whatever. I'm hitting 2 years now. It seems to be every 2 years I'll PB my bench. So maybe I'm getting there. Maybe
when you're benching a fucking 142 kilos at 75 kilos body weight, like this.
Yeah, it's a bit rough.
You've got definitely there's been some strength increases. It's just like technicalities that have kind of like...
Yes.
Yeah.
So I guess my question was like, where do you feel like you have evolved mentally as an athlete handling some of these lifts that don't go as well versus like, because I know the wins are fucking big wins for you and the losses are big losses. So
100%,
what do you feel like has been your evolution over the years that's helped you handle that? Because I still think there's work to be done.
Oh, 100%.
You know?
Like my mental state. And like it will always determine on my mental state at the time because like I've got mental health issues, obviously. If you don't know, anyone that knows me, you know. But like if you don't know, I do. So it's very hard because I wrap myself into that. So like I put all of my worth into that. So if I don't get to where I think I should be, I will just think I'm a failure.
Yeah.
So
and then from there it falls into self-sabotaging behavior.
Exactly.
Even if there's completely rational reasons for
100%. Yeah. Like 20 like regionals comp, I did a massive water load.
Yes.
And like I was literally pooping myself the entire day.
Yeah.
So like for my squat to only get my opener on my third, like that was rough for me.
Yeah.
Because like I know I can squat more than that. But in saying that, I dropped like 6 kilos.
Yes.
I
do distinctly remember though.
Not good.
Like you had your little tantrum, but instead of doing it in the warm-up room and having a cry and sulking
I went
or
away.
That sort of stuff,
I walk away.
You walk away.
Yeah. So like that's a big thing is I walk away. So even at Pro Raw, I think I missed like a bench or something. Away and try to shut down that. And like it does upset me, but I've learned to walk a bit, but I can't stay in that moment anymore.
Yes.
Because that moment. So like I'm allowed to have that moment for a little. I need to switch on for the next attempt. So like
this is what happens when it goes on battery saver mode because it's just slowed down. Like it's just trying to save power.
Yeah.
Well, it's recording.
But it's all right. We'll move on.
Yeah. He's done a couple of pro rolls for us. Yeah. Sorry, Tam.
And then we have...
Oh, was he the dude that took those pictures from you in, was it Bondi we went to? And
no, St Kilda.
St Kilda and she nearly caused an accident.
I did cause an accident.
Oil on her ass.
Someone rear-ended someone at the traffic lights watching me. I was like baby oil on my butt.
Her up, and someone was like, watching
rear-ended someone at the fucking traffic lights. All right, yes. Nexus Unloaded podcast technical difficulties.
So we we've done the competition date, as in like your best competition, your favorite competition, I should say.
Yeah.
What about favorite lifts, like squat, bench, deadlift? Was there any, like obviously, I mean, you wanted to say the fucking best ones that you've done, but I mean, like, is there any like milestones where you're like, you know,
fuck yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Your first 200 squat or something like that, for example.
For me, it was like my biggest deadlift was, you know, great in its own way. But like my favorite one that I've done was like my first 800-pound 365 at Pro Raw 9, just because it was just, I don't know, that whole day was a triumph and just like put a cap on it.
I think it was my 2020 one? No, 2019.
Pro 11.
Yeah, 2019.
Yep.
Pro 11. I think it was my last deadlift, which was like 217 or some shit that I had to pull to beat Kate.
Yeah, it was for the win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do it. And Zach was like, well, if you don't pull this, you're going to have to pull this if she gets that. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was not a fun day for either of
For
us.
any of us, dude.
Yeah.
I couldn't even enjoy winning because I just felt so bad.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. Kate didn't have a great day.
No, she didn't. And like,
and you had a great
but
day.
that happens.
But like, that's,
I
know that's powerlifting, but like, you can't take away like caring about someone. So like, I was like, oh, I won. But then I was like, oh, I feel so bad because like Kate had such a shit day and like she's injured and stuff. Like,
Kate being Kate, she was so happy for you.
She was, correct. Yeah. But that didn't
she was away. Still, there was that internal thing as well. Like she's obviously quite competitive.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was hard for her. And I know it was like Will was trying to handle both of you, and it was like he was coming over and he's like, all right, Kate, so you need to pull this. And then he's going over to Keeta and he's like, all right, so Keeta, you need to pull this if Kate pulls this. But I mean, at the end of the day, as a coach, it's not
it was just all about trying to get everyone the best numbers.
Because we talk about the numbers game and stuff and how you can kind of play that with your deadlifts and that sort of shit. But like you guys, at the end of the day, you kind of know what each other were capable of. And as a coach, he was like, I'm just going to put in what I think each of you are actually capable of pulling. Yeah. And that's it. End of story.
Yeah.
Like,
it was definitely hard. Like, I definitely don't ever want to be in that position, to be fair. Because it definitely wouldn't be easy. Yeah.
It was like your teammate, you know what I mean? Though it's an individual sport. like, you know,
like,
Kate,
you're
both
still like
coached by
pulling
us.
for the win is awesome though.
Yeah, it feels sick.
Like not again, like just, you know, the person, I guess, matters slightly in that circumstance.
Absolutely.
But like in general,
is that the only time you've had to pull for the win?
Yeah.
It's just the pressure. It's just that
was
pressure.
like it was just the battle of the podium placings and stuff like
because
that.
I think I got her in squats because her back was bad, but then she like outbenched me like a mile, obviously. And then it come down to deadlifts and I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm coming second. Well, like, woo, second to Kate. And I was like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, you could win. And I was like, oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that pressure to perform like is just sick. I love that.
Yeah.
But I can't even imagine it in other sports where they have to kick a goal for the win or hit a shot for the win or some shit like in the last second. I don't know. Fuck.
That's just like, I like pressure, but that seems like too much pressure to me.
Yeah.
Like a whole team and a whole it's just too much. Like I like just putting the pressure on myself, not like having everyone else's pressure on me too.
Yeah.
Even though it feels like
makes you perform
pressure on you. Yeah. Like I know you and I have had this conversation a lot. Like we put so much pressure on ourselves and we feel like it's external, but it's actually not. It's just internal.
Yeah. You think other people are like,
you must do the best.
Yeah.
But then like 9% of the time, they don't give a shit.
Nobody cares at all. Like literally at all.
Yeah. Apart from you and your partner, like Mikki cares if how well you go, etc. And like you know, and vice versa with Luke. But at the end of the day, we put the most pressure on ourselves.
Yeah. But it's not. Yeah, but it's not like Yeah, like if you failed, anybody would see you any differently. Whereas
correct.
You think they do for some reason.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think you're a little bitch.
Yeah. It's hard when you have Mikki around.
I remember one of his comps though, I walked up to him and he's like, yeah, like did it, you know, like he won or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but you didn't even like PB on anything. He's like, fuck you, I won.
You're like, yeah, but it wasn't the best. Okay.
It was good. Very proud of you, Willie.
Okay. Well, on that note, we'll leave it there.
You didn't have any more questions or notes or minutes?
No, we have obviously comp in 7 weeks, so we can when we get to that, we'll do a little recap. But yeah, we've got a big prep end of prep to go. We've got to get.
Yeah, we'll see when this gets
about
aired.
to go squat after this.
Yeah. Pull some things together, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will come.
My weight actually dropped. So even though we increased my calories again, my weight actually dropped again.
Oh, that was surprising.
The old secret. You know that from bodybuilding day.
Yeah. I was quite surprised though, because we all know how like I go with carbs, and I was like, oh, surely I'll just get really watery, but nah. I actually feel good today.
Take the stress out.
Less stress. Wow.
Who knew? That's crazy.
Oh, goodness. I don't even want to know what calories you've been on, or probably. I remember actually Will told me, he's like, Keeta's dropped like 6 kilos or something like that. And I'm like, cool. Well, I told her before breakthrough, if she contacts me again, 6 days out to drop 6 kilos, that I'm going to fucking decapitate her and tell her to go fuck herself. So
no, like I've definitely really
she knows not to do that to
me.
I've
really tried this time to like really be on top of my food and stuff. And I started slow because obviously we all know me. I'm either like full head in and I fail, or I like because I don't take things slowly. And I know that that's how I function now. So I've tried to, and like I really started trying. So first I started with just getting my protein properly, and then I worried about my carbs, and then I worried about like getting calories, and then I like put my steps and stuff in. So I've definitely taken a different approach this time.
Yeah.
And like it's definitely, I mean, apart from
you
these
still
last
got
couple of weeks.
6-7 weeks to
put
it all together and see where you go. I mean, is there actual weight classes for this one strength? Because it's kind of based on dots as the overall, right? So it's more.
I don't know why they're doing Wilks.
Wilks.
They're doing Wilks.
WRPF.
Yeah, but they did dots at Breakthrough.
WRPF.
So why are we doing Wilks now? I don't know.
Make it up.
Okay, so it's Wilks formula.
Yeah.
Right.
So I did message them just in case, on the odd chance that I was like, oh, just a odd chance, you know.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, look, we are preparing people to hit weight categories just for like trophies and things, but they were like, if you don't make weight, like it is what it is.
Yeah, just compete wherever you are, and it's at the end of the day that you're going there for the money.
Exactly.
To get the
performance,
to get the tickets. Yeah. And see where that goes.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, who cares about open lifter fucking rankings or any of that sort of stuff anyways, right? Like,
yeah. I mean, that's how I run like my goals off, but because like, I mean, I know I'm never, like, I'm not going to say I'm never going to be number 1 in 75, but like for me to get to where the other women are, like I would need to be huge.
Yeah.
Like
it's not as much as like, I'm
they
sure
do a lot
people
of
would
big
disagree with me massive, but I just think it's very different
cuts
in Australia compared to America. Just
100%.
There's lots of little differences.
Yeah, 24-hour weigh-ins with a IV drip on.
Yeah,
it's not just that they have their own like pros and cons. Is what I'm saying. Like they're just different, different rules, different cultures, different amounts of like just population.
Also, in saying that though, like most of my stuff I've done on a 2-hour weigh-in at 75. They wouldn't be able to compete. Like anyone in America that does a 75 kilo would not be able to walk in on a 2-hour weigh-in.
Yeah, that's 75. What I mean. There's lots of differences between them. Like there's just you can't say
And like I truly want to do like 700 at 75.
Yeah,
like I don't.
Is this the first you've heard of this, Will?
No, I said it
over the years now.
Like it's always been something that like I want.
Yeah.
Like I know I started at 600 and we got there, 650 we got there, so now it's like 700. I think 700 at 75 I'll be happy. Then I'll go up weight category.
Okay.
I will take 700 at any.
Yeah, 700 at any weight category.
Anyway, it's still good, but
not bad.
But like if I hit that 700, I know I'm going to be there at the top of 75s for a long time.
Okay.
Cool.
Right. Love that. Love that attitude. It's the attitude you got to have to be at the top anyways, right?
Yeah, 100%. You can't just not
fuck everyone else.
Yeah.
Can't aim low.
Exactly.
Aim high and be willing to fail.
Yeah, exactly. And like I failed enough of my life, so you know, eventually you got to get good at failing too. So.
Yeah.
It's the only way forward. All right, we'll leave there.
Thank you, Keeta.
If you have any questions for Keeta,
no worries.
Send them through and I'll pass them on.
Yeah, and then maybe I'll do a little Q&A or something, and we can do that.
Have fun.
Yeah.
I'll let you know when this airs. All right. Thanks, guys. Adios.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Nexus Unloaded podcast. Be sure to jump on our website to find details on everything mentioned in the podcast today, plus information on our coaching, mentoring, and gyms based in the Gold Coast and Townsville. Make sure you follow us on our Instagram for any updates on what we are currently doing, and we'll see you all in the next episode.